And a magnificent morning to each and every one of you. This is A21 from Black Roses Garden Community Radio. First and foremost, prayers up for Black Rose and her family. If you follow her on Facebook or read her feed, you'll know what this is about. So continue to pray for the healing for her and her family. Now, I got a call to get on at 12 o'clock, so I'm going to try to make this very quick. In that it is so much frag-a-naggle going on as it relates to this impeachment hearing. But, when I listen to people like Ted Cruz and Kevin McCarthy et al., all I can say is these Bamas are just off their meds. Ted Cruz is saying that and I think, a cadre of the senators, 45 of them, as a matter of fact, saying that impeachment is unconstitutional. And when I listen to them and I read their comments, I'm thinking, I could run for Senate because at minimum, I have read the Constitution. And I do know that there is precedent for trying somebody who is out of the office of public trust or out of an office of public trust. As a matter of fact, there was a gentleman who had resigned from his office as the Secretary of the Army, I believe. And after he resigned, they impeached him. So he wasn't even in office. What I am not understanding, and nobody, I just don't understand. How is this even debatable when you have video evidence of the crime start to finish? And the more that the FBI uncovers, the more we know, if we're paying attention, that this has been in the works since last summer when the Black Lives Matter rallies were taking place all across the country, and the Pentagon restricted the D.C. National Guard from responding. They were saying that if they had to, or the Major General, his name is William Walker, they had to go through the Pentagon and the Department of the Army before they could release or, give command to folks, to dispense guards people to go help in the in the streets of D.C. And you think about that. That was last summer. That came from the top. So Trump and his cronies were planning insurrection because if you guys remember, his poll numbers were in the toilet from, I want to say, from April of last year, clean up to the election. So that, in my estimation, was being planned as far back as the summer. Also, the day before, on January the 5th, the FBI has now discovered that there were meetings with the planners, Mo Brooks, Andy Biggs, and Gosar. Trump family members were meeting with them on January 5th. And those three names that I gave you were organizers of the insurrection, of what happened on the 5th. Now, the FBI has some 400 arrests. All of this has been happening, or all of this information I've gotten through the Washington Post Online, CNN, MSNBC in the past 24 hours. So they've made some 400 arrests, and now they have to, find whatever they need to charge these folks. And I'm coming back to you with that. There is no law on the books for domestic terrorism. That's why you're seeing folks being charged with these, trespassing and these crazy charges, but everything but insurrection. Because again, it's not a law on the books. Now, with those 400 arrests, our rule of law mandates. It mandates PIP. It mandates that we pursue those folks, that we investigate those folks, and we prosecute those folks. That's what the rule of law mandates. And it's just really unconscionable to me when I hear lawyers who are defending some of these folks who participated in the insurrection, some of these thugs, some of these that they're using the Trump made me do it defense. And then I see folks who were elected to public office, when they can't argue the facts, they just make up shit. They just make up stuff. They just go for the dodge. And for them to say that it's unconstitutional and historically that there is no precedent, clearly they ain't looking for nothing. They are looking to promote and push this lie. That's what Ted Cruz is doing. That's what, even Harley's backed off a little bit. Because he knows he's wrong. And he knows that the people in Missouri are coming for his ass. Just like I'm ever so hopeful that the people in Texas continue to come after Ted Cruz. But I was pleasantly surprised, I guess. Madison Cawthorn, the House member from North Carolina, admitted yesterday that he knew the election wasn't fixed. So people who take an oath to the Constitution to support, defend, and uphold it know that the lie is out there and go out publicly and endorse it as a truth should not be in Congress. Cut and dry, pure and simple. You can't serve two masters. So I encourage you again. We got now about 17 senators who need to come, who need to be expelled from the Senate because they took an oath and they clearly broke that oath, and they broke it right in our face. So it's really not a big argument there. I have the list. If you send me your email, inbox me your email, I'm happy to send it to you because, again, we have got to stop assuming that everybody knows what we know. And I come on here regularly because I've too many folks that I've spoken with. Too many folks that I've spoken with saying, I don't watch the news. It's so frustrating, yada, yada, yada. But you can't keep your head in the sand. You got to know what's going on so you can, take some action. Again, be reminded that just because you're not getting paid for this job, being a citizen is your responsibility. That's your job, to stay on top of what's going on in the country, to speak up and speak out to your elected officials when you see transgressions, when you see the wrong thing happening. And if the wrong thing ain't never happened before, it's happening right now. And we have mechanisms by which we can voice our concerns. Even though we can't go inside the building and get in front of these folks and get in their face, we can certainly call. We can certainly email. We can do all of that. So I encourage you to do that because nobody's going to save us but us. And I know for me, once we get through this minutia, because we going to get through it, because we're going to get through it because there are more of us who want to do the right thing, then there's not. And I just believe that. I believe that to the core of my spirit. Now, to my mind, and only to my mind, even though the Constitution, from what I read, allows you free speech. We have folks who promote lies, and it should be some accountability or some penalty to those folks in the media, such as Rupert Murdoch, who, even though he, told Trump to give up the ghost back in December, he is still allowing propaganda to flow through his airwaves. And I believe that he's allowing that to happen now because he is losing viewers and revenue to Newsmax and OAN. But that's something that we can speak up and speak out about as well. And I know this is a lot, and I'm saying it's a lot on your plate because it's stuff that you probably are not used to doing, but you got to dig down. We got to get this done, people. We can't just talk to one another. We have got to take some action. We have got to move from an attitude of apathy, an attitude of, I don't care, they're going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. No, we are the they you keep pointing at. So we can change that narrative. We have to move from an attitude of apathy to a posture of action. And that is why I come to you every day. Gonna keep coming to you, even though I'm being trolled and getting little dirty inbox messages and that kind of thing. But that's okay. Because it is my holy obligation to share with you what I know. And if I can give it to you in a 10-minute spiel and you don't have to look at 2 and 3 hours worth of news, that's what I'm going to do, because it is a matter of life and death as it relates to democracy that we get involved. I told you yesterday, told you the day before, I'm going to tell you again today. You saw on January the 6th that there are people willing to take your choices away from you if you don't exercise your duty and responsibility as a citizen. We cannot let that happen. And any of those folks in either house, either chamber of Congress, saying that what's happening is not constitutional, we need to right now start finding folks to run against them, because clearly they ain't ready. I also heard, as an aside, that Trump TV is happening somewhere in America. I haven't seen it. I've looked it up on the internet. I've seen some older clips, but nothing right now. But I applaud those platforms and venues that are banning people who are holding offices of trust in this country, but who are spewing lies and propaganda. Thank you, Twitter, for shutting down Trump. Thank you for shutting down Bob Lindell, the My Pillow guy. And thank you for shutting down Marjorie Greene. Thank you also for initiating your Operation Birdwatch to combat misinformation, because that's what's killing us. Be mindful that words matter. The truth matters. And Rupert Murdoch, you freaking out now because you losing money. While you continue to promote misinformation. Your son told you when he quit last summer. He can't be a part of that. He said it again the week before last. You are one of the biggest folks responsible for what's happening in America right now. And it is my hope that once we get past -45, that we come after your ass. I know that is on my list of things to do, but I do have my priorities. So with that, I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow, because I don't want you guys to forget that you are responsible. You can choose to call, or you can choose to go look at Wendy Williams. My hope and my prayer is that you choose the former as opposed to the latter. And again, just as one of the last reminder, I got the list. All of these telephone numbers are public information. If you live in a particular state, because they're making it awfully challenging to get a piece of written correspondence from somebody outside of their particular state. It's challenging, but it ain't impossible. So find somebody who lives in that particular state and tell them to go to their senators or their House members' website and type in the information that, this is crazy. Everybody on the globe saw what happened. From the time Trump and Mo Brooks and Madison Cawthorn got on that stage on the ellipse and said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, let's go to the Capitol and raise some hell. Madison Cawthorn, let's go to the Capitol and threaten some of these members of Congress. He said that. It's we the people who have to come together to put a stop to that and move forward. Last but certainly not least, I see some of these Republican faces come across Rand Paul, saying that, let's have some unity. Let's have a kumbaya moment. Let's forget about the dumpster fire that was brewing for 4 years. And let's just move past that. When Biden says unity, or wait, let me not speak for Biden. When I think of unity, that means I'm inviting you to the table so we can talk and try to hash this out. It don't mean I'm a kowtow to you and kiss your ass. It does not mean that. So kudos to Senator Schumer for taking that posture. So with that, this is 821 from Black Roses Garden Community Radio. Let me get on my call. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care of you. I'm out.